Hello and welcome to Temple Street, the show brought to you by the Department of Communication and Journalism in Suffolk University. I'm Melissa Fajardo.
I'm Siobhan Sullivan.
And I'm Heidi Walsh. On today's show, we will learn about the oppression of women around the world through the arts, get a closer look at National Volunteer Month in Boston and how we can participate. Later, we will also take a deeper look at the growing gluten-free market.
We will also meet one of the most successful clubs on campus, find out if Bostonians know more about pop culture or politics, and end, as always, with our critic at large, Siobhan Sullivan. What do you have for us today, Siobhan?
Today I'm going to be talking about how things we all use on a daily basis are actually killing us.
Well, that sounds like something we can't miss.
And hopefully you give us some tips so that doesn't happen. Yes. All right, but first, the news. Acclaimed Mexican playwright Hugo Salcedo visited campus to present his play We Women for the first time in English and made a strong statement about the oppression of women and girls around the world. I sat down with Mr. Salcedo to bring you the story behind this powerful work.
Never, never again. No more.
These were the final and powerful words of the dramatic readings We Women. Originally written by Mexican dramatist, poet, and playwright Hugo Salcedo and translated for the first time in English by Suffolk University professor Dr. Yanni Moreno. There were 7 unique readings portraying 7 different women around the world, all facing one same dilemma, female oppression. Through his play, Mr. Salcedo manifests oppression against women through the stage and makes an impact about this worldwide issue.
Y la obra es muy fuerte. ¿Qué te inspiró a hacer papeles tan fuertes y tan poderosos de la mujer?
Lo que pasa que yo considero que el teatro es un escenario del mundo, el teatro es un espejo del mundo y en ese sentido, cuando menos es mi manera de entender el teatro, yo lo utilizo para mostrar los problemas, para mostrar los desajustes, con la intención quizá de tomar conciencia y en un futuro cambiar las cosas, ¿no? Es mi forma de, digamos que de protestar contra, en este caso, contra la violencia de género. Lo que me inspira es efectivamente encontrarme con que la mujer ha sido utilizada, ha sido subyugada, ha sido violentada a través de la historia y también a través de las culturas. Entonces, bueno, la obra quiere un poquito retratar esa imagen que yo tengo de la mujer.
Audience also reacted strongly and positively.
I thought they were very provocative. Sometimes, because of the subject matter being the way it is, it's difficult to hear, but it has to be heard.
The content in each reading is deep and truthful for women in different situations confronting maltreatment. The translated version is just as empowering as the original one, a task difficult to attain when there's so much emotion through the storytelling.
It was very hard to do. Also, I had to do some research too, so I would know what areas of the world these women were from and the topics that it was trying to portray, because I wanted to be also faithful as to that world. But I want to say that the hardest thing was to maintain the poetry.
1 in 5 women will be of or attempted rape in her lifetime. 102 countries have no legal provisions against domestic violence. And the UN estimates that at least 5,000 women are murdered every year as a result of honor killings. We Women readings touch base on these issues and express this trouble through the arts. Melissa Fajardo for Temple Street. With his work, Mr. Salcedo proves that we should all fight to give women voice.
April is National Volunteer Month, and here in Boston, there are hundreds of ways we can get involved. Temple Street reporter Melissa Graham has more.
President Obama proclaimed April 6th through April 12th National Volunteer Week, where he called upon all Americans to volunteer in service projects across the country. And while Boston is widely known for having some of the most prestigious universities and arguably some of the best sports teams, they are also home to over 5,000 charities and nonprofit organizations. Among one of the top volunteer mobilizers in Boston is Boston Cares.
Well, what we do is we organize and lead teams of volunteers who help other nonprofits in school to fulfill their missions. And so over the course of the year, we'll mobilize about 20,000 volunteers.
Patrice explains how volunteering can not only benefit yourself, but also your local communities.
It's important on so many levels. Volunteering is an easy way to get to know your community, to get to know the issues, get to learn about different people, organizations that are making a difference. It's something that you can do on your own time as you're able, and you don't have to feel slammed by a commitment that you can't fulfill when your life gets busy or kind of crazy. But when you're ready to come back and jump right back in, we're ready for you.
And with the variety of programs that Boston Cares offers, you'll be sure to find a project that appeals to you.
We have a program called the Calendar where you volunteer on your own time. We have a youth and family volunteering program, which is great to get little kids involved, and people love to volunteer as a family. We have a corporate volunteering program, so lots and lots of companies get involved, and whether it's a handful of employees or 1,000 employees in a day, we have an opportunity for folks to get involved that way.
For Temple Street, I'm Melissa Graham.
For more information on local volunteer stories, visit Boston Cares at the website bostoncares.org.
According to a 2013 Huffington Post study, the gluten-free food market is now a $4.2 billion industry. For while celiac disease is on the rise, interest in gluten-free products is increasing also as a trend on its own. Temple Street reporters Siobhan Sullivan and Heidi Walsh took a deeper look into the nation's new favorite diet.
Diet trends have been around for as long as people can remember. First came the low-fat diet, then carb-free diet, then the sugar-free diet, and now the gluten-free diet. Gluten is the protein in wheat, barley, and rye. Suffolk University Professor of Chemistry Emerita, Dr. Doris Lewis, says gluten offers elasticity to foods.
Gluten provides the protein, and I said protein, is long chains and strings. If you've ever made bread and punched the dough and it starts to punch back and it's nice and stringy, that's because of the gluten.
But as tasty as gluten may be, it is also responsible for making some people extremely ill. Gluten is the culprit behind celiac disease, a fairly new diagnosis of sensitivity to this protein. According to the National Foundation for Celiac Awareness, celiac disease is an autoimmune digestive disease that damages the villi of the small intestine and interferes with the absorption of nutrients from food. Currently, an estimated 1 in 133 Americans, or about 1% of the population, suffers from celiac disease. Suffolk University student Mary Solaro was diagnosed with celiac disease when she was 17 years old.
The most difficult part, I'd say, is at the beginning, is what types of food you can eat, getting used to not eating what you're used to eating every single day. You can't just have like a dish of pasta anytime you want. You can't have a sandwich anytime you want.
Health officials say there are no cures for celiac disease, just a 100% gluten-free diet. But a gluten-free diet isn't necessarily a healthy diet for everyone. Dr. Lewis says that all diets come with risk factors.
Another thing that we know about food, and this is not just about gluten, is that so much of our food today is highly processed. And you can look at any label and see this, something with 20 or so ingredients. So a lot of the gluten-free food that's now available, gluten-free cookies, all right, they still have the sugars, they still have the starchy material.
Starch that makes a huge difference in these gluten-free products. With the gluten-free fad in full swing, it is tempting to get on the bandwagon. However, for those without celiac disease, experts say there is no scientific evidence that a gluten-free diet is beneficial to your health. Reporting for Temple Street, I'm Siobhan Sullivan with Heidi Walsh.
If you think you may be gluten sensitive or you want to learn more about gluten, visit the National Foundation of Celiac Awareness website.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this short break with Suffolk's award-winning forensics team coach, Jody Nivola.
And our critic at large, Siobhan Sullivan.
Stay with us.
It's a beautiful day out here, sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it, let's go.
I've got a job to do today. I've got a job to do today.
Have a good first day at work, Mom.
Your donations to Goodwill fund job training programs right in your community.
Feels good to start fresh, right?
Sure does.
And like that, you're a job creator.
So I've come up with the family emergency plan.
Great. What is it?
It's difficult to talk about, so I'm not telling you.
How will we know what to do?
You won't.
I'm so glad I won't have to remember anything.
And me too. Thanks for this, sweetie.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
One of Suffolk's most successful clubs on campus, the forensics team, recently added one more trophy to their collection, winning the New England Regional Championships. Temple Street reporter Vasily Stroganoff sat down with the team's new director in charge, Jody Nivola, to talk about the importance of speech training and what makes this team win big.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Director of Forensics, Jody Nivola. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
I want to ask you, what is the word, because you guys are called the forensics team.
That's right.
And I want to, because I'm very curious about the name forensics, because when I see that name, I think about solving crimes or like with the help of science. And why are you guys called the forensics team? You guys are a debate team, so
Right, I'm glad you asked that because we get a lot of confusion.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many students contact me saying they're a criminal justice major. It's actually, if you take it back to the ancient Greek roots, it's one of Aristotle's forms of speech. It's the kind of speech that was prepared for court.
Okay, so it actually applies to you guys.
It absolutely does.
Okay, and what exactly do you guys do in the forensics team?
Well, the forensics team is a communication department activity, and basically we teach students how to research, write, and deliver a variety of different kinds of speeches. And as the coach, I get them as ready as I can. We travel around the country to go to different speaking competitions.
And you guys just won a regional
Yes, we did.
championship. Congrats with
Thanks.
that.
Thanks.
How was, I heard you guys won 11 trophies at that.
Right.
That must have been.
This is actually my first year as director of forensics, but I've been coaching the team for 18 years. And to have my squad that was mostly novices win this regional title was a really big deal for us.
Yeah, you said you've been coaching for 18 years.
That's right.
Is that, so there's two academic advisors for that club, or like a director and a coach, or how exactly?
It's actually, in the past, there's been a director of forensics and then an assistant director of forensics. I acted as assistant director of forensics for many years.
Oh, okay.
But I am now the sole director of forensics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it used to be Bruce Wickelgren that was the director?
Right. And
okay.
prior to Bruce, it was Vicki Carnes.
Vicki Carnes,
and
wow.
these guys,
She's my advisor.
These guys are always there for me, and I found them both to be amazing sounding boards, both through the administrative channels, which has been the hardest thing for me this year, because I've been coaching through all the years.
Yeah.
So they help me with topics, they help me with avenues to get things done, and they're always there to support me at tournaments.
You guys are one of the most successful clubs on campus. Can you explain a little bit about the history of the forensics team? When did it start?
Okay.
And how did it start?
Well, as far as I know, it was in the early 60s that a group of students got together and wanted to create a debating club. And in the beginning, it really was one-on-one policy debate stuff. It's kind of morphed into many different things. I always equate it to gymnastics, where you can compete in whatever kind of event that you like. We have 11 different events, and students can compete in whatever it is that they like. For example, if you like poetry interpretation, we have poetry reading. If you like questions on policies, we have policy debating. If you like writing speeches, we have all sorts of different categories of speeches that the students can write. It's kind of like you'd see in a presentation skills class.
Okay, so there's everything, like there's a little bit of everything for everyone.
Correct.
That it's very broad, the topics.
Mm-hmm.
And what do, because I can imagine students, they get a lot of they get a lot of good things out of this. That they can use for their jobs in the future. The persuasion skills, they improve
Right.
that. What is the thing students get out of this the most?
For me, as someone who actually competed in it at the college that I went to for my undergraduate degree, I learned to be the most prepared speaker that I could be. And it really is, it's a wonderful skill to teach students how to effectively communicate their ideas. And that's what they get from forensics.
How do you feel about your first?
I
Yeah.
couldn't be happier. I really couldn't. It was a wonderful year in terms of recruiting. I got some amazing speakers. Two goals were to get alumni involved and to get a couple new states on our radar. We go to about 8 tournaments a year. So we went to Liberty University.
Eight a year?
Yes,
Wow.
we do 8 a year. And we went to Liberty University, which is in Virginia, which was way out of our region, which was a wonderful experience. And we also went to LSU, Louisiana State University, which was another one way out of our region. Such wonderful trips, travel experiences. Talk about experiential learning. We're there, we're speaking, we're meeting new cultures, we're eating, jambalaya. It really is wonderful for all the students.
And you guys meet other schools, and you
Right.
can have a big experience with
Right.
that.
At most tournaments, there's 12 other schools that are involved, and we're very happy to throw our hat in the ring and go out of region. That's one of my goals for next year, to go even further.
Wow. To the national, maybe, championship?
I'm hoping we can get to the national tournament for next year, yeah.
Yeah. Very much good luck with that.
Thank you.
I hope you guys can make it. And just about the categories you mentioned a little bit before. So there's debates, there's speeches.
Right.
What else is there?
I like to differentiate the speeches into unprepared and very prepared. You can be working on one speech all year. Let's say it's a persuasive speech on like women's gender identity, or it could be an on-the-spot topic that you get when you actually arrive at the tournament. So it depends upon what the student really wants to get better at, and I encourage them to perform their passion to see what kinds of things they like to do.
And you guys took almost all the titles at the
We did really good at the New England Regional Champion,
New
yes. We're really a force to be reckoned with in this region.
Yeah. Did you guys, was this one of the most successful years so far? Or?
I'm not going to say it was one of the most successful years, but personally it was a wonderful year for me to take over. We were poised with great students, great tournaments, and some really great speeches.
How do you see the future of the forensics team in Suffolk?
Well, like I said, I really want to try and get to some new states. I want to get to some new schools, some new campuses, because I really think that that's part of the social aspect of it, to get us out there to see what other schools are like. We live in Boston. We go to an urban campus. So to go to a place like LSU and see like rolling hills, everyone wearing their yellow and purple shirts, is good for the Boston student.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I want to do is really keep this alumni connection going, because like I said, 18 years of coaching, I've coached a lot of Suffolk grads. I want to have them come back and start mentoring, be part of the program.
So they can actually join the program after they graduate?
They could come back and maybe help edit speeches. They could listen to speeches. They can come to our local tournaments that we run. We host 2 tournaments a year and judge for us.
Yeah.
I just want the people who are on the team now to see the Suffolk forensics past as well as what it can be in the future.
Is there any way to engage more students? Because you guys have a lot of people in the team, but to have even more, to make it more like for the new freshmen who are coming in, and you guys want more people, is there any way to approach them more or something?
Well, I think for this year we've gotten a lot of press, which I think is something different than we've had in the past. There was something in the alumni magazine, something in the Suffolk Journal, something on the suffolk.edu website, and all these things have brought emails into my inbox saying, tell me more about this. We've always been here, you know, it's just people are talking, which is great. So I think that that's one way that we can get more people. We already have 15 going into next year, and we're always looking for new faces.
Yeah. Wow. I wish you guys very much good luck in the future, and thank you again for this interview. Thanks for coming here. And guys, that was all for today, and back to the studio.
If you want to join the forensics team, you can reach out to Joni Nivola at jnivola@suffolk.edu.
Wherever we go, we are bombarded with pop culture news. What about the world of politics? Chelsea Graham polled some Bostonians to find out if people know more about pop or politics.
When it comes to pop culture, Bostonians seem to know their stuff. Can you name 2 Kardashians?
Kim and her mother. Her mother. And her father, Bruce Jenner.
Kim and Chloe.
Chloe, Kim, and Chris.
Oh, yeah. I can do the whole family. I mean, Kylie, Kendall, Chloe, Courtney, Kim.
Do you guys know Justin Bieber's girlfriend?
Well, I hate to admit I sort of know that too. Well, one is Selena Gomez.
Who sang the song Oops, I Did It Again?
Britney Spears.
Who is Justin Timberlake's wife?
I don't know, but she's got to be pretty hot.
But their political knowledge may be lacking. Who just announced their bid for New Hampshire Senate?
It's supposed to be pop culture. Yeah, but what's his name? I was going to say John Kerry. What's his name? Come on. Oh, the one who the daughter sang, come on. Yeah. Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank because we're on camera.
Oh, that one I don't know. I'm sorry. No. You know what? If I could tell you, I'd have the answer correct.
How many people signed up for Obamacare?
Over million.
I do not know.
Luckily, we still have a few individuals who we could all learn from.
Do you know who Kanye West's wife is?
Who's Kanye West?
Do you know who Justin Timberlake's wife is?
No, I've heard of Justin Timberlake though.
Who is our vice president?
Joe Biden.
Can you name 5 of the original 13 colonies?
Massachusetts,
Connecticut, Vermont, Rhode Island,
Maryland.
Very good.
What a surprise that one of the biggest college cities in America knows more about Miley than Obama.
I know, Boston, we can do better. I bet you're not surprised about this, Siobhan.
Not at all. The U.S. is still considered one of the most desirable places to live, with an estimated 20% of immigrants worldwide coming here every year. But while I can totally see the attraction, especially for people escaping war zones, what they and so many of us don't know is our country is killing its citizens too. Sure, every day we in the U.S. enjoy many freedoms and life full of so-called luxuries, but not without risks. What do I mean by this? I mean we have been lied to, every single one of us. Do you use lipstick on a daily basis? How about mascara? And what about body wash? Well, each of these innocent-looking products might actually be shortening your life. The United States, unlike many other countries, does not require companies to disclose certain ingredients on their product labels. According to the American Lung Association, many household items used on a daily basis contain harmful chemicals. Even products advertised as green or natural may be hazardous. Products include bleach, obviously, but also dishwasher packets and liquid, aerosol spray products like hairspray and air freshener, and many more. But even if you're not cleaning the house or making yourself look pretty, you still have a reason to be afraid. You're most likely still shortening your life with other stuff you consume daily. Did you know that Kraft, McDonald's, and Betty Crocker all use different ingredients outside of the United States? That's right. A direct quote from Examiner.com says, many companies use toxic ingredients in the products made for the U.S. market while formulating the exact same products differently for other countries. McDonald's French fries in the U.S., for instance, are made with genetically engineered ingredients, trans fat oils that clog the heart, and an anti-foaming agent that is also a key ingredient in silly putty. In the UK, however, consumers get these same fries with only sunflower oil, potatoes, and a little dextrose. Many of the key American brands, such as Pringles, Starburst, Quaker, Ritz, and more, are reformulated in other countries without additives. Real nice, America. Real nice. Be warned, people, you don't want to make your next meal be your last, especially when you don't even know what you're eating. But if it is your last, make it a good one. There are 13 common food ingredients allowed by the FDA that are banned in other countries. These include olestra, brominated vegetable oils, arsenic, and synthetic hormones. Here's another fun fact. What do Coca-Cola, Gatorade, Heinz ketchup, and Ritz crackers have in common? They all contain high fructose corn syrup, but only in the U.S. According to WebMD, high fructose corn syrup is believed to be one of the biggest contributors to obesity and type 2 diabetes. And people are shocked that 1/3 of Americans are obese. And this harmful stuff isn't only found in food. According to breastcancerfund.org, products such as sunscreen, lipstick, nail polish, foundation, and whitening toothpaste all contain lead. Lead causes nerve damage in children, which is why it is no longer used in paint. I guess that isn't stopping the cosmetic industry. But are these companies at fault? Should the government be paying more attention, or are the consumers to blame too? Granted, we are being lied to, and I wish we had stronger regulations to prevent these chemicals from getting into our food and other products we use. But we should be more in control as well, showing some interest and responsibility for what we consume. If you feel helpless and overwhelmed by this info, there is a new smartphone application available called Think Dirty, which will allow you to take action immediately. With this app, you can scan household items and see how harmful their contents are. Well, I tried it, and apparently my deodorant, along with my toothpaste, contains a known human carcinogen. Hey, at least my teeth are shiny. So remember, it's a jungle of ingredients out there, and when you get ready to look pretty and tan this summer, make sure your sunscreen isn't making the problem worse.
Wow, this is so shocking and disgusting in a way.
It's amazing we have the same information that the European Union has, but we're not doing anything.
Exactly.
It's insane. Something needs to happen.
Well, that's all we have for today's show. From all of us at Temple Street, thank you. I'm Melissa Fajardo.
I'm Siobhan Sullivan.
And I'm Heidi Walsh. Thank you, have a great summer, and we'll see you back here next fall here on Temple Street.